If you come across this video, Spirit has a message that you need to hear. Now, guys, as you can see here, we're doing another Pick a Pal reading. Pal 1 and Pal 2 like always. And we're going to look at what message does Spirit have for you. So before we start, I'm going to set the attention by setting a little prayer. I'm asking Spirit, ancestors, angels, and the highest good messages that viewers most need at this time. May these readings bring clarity, confirmation, and healing and guidance. Now that I set the attention, I want you guys, before we begin, to take a deep breath in for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 3. Once you do that, focus on what Pal calls to you, whether it's Pal 1 or Pal 2. And when you feel ready, choose. For people who chose Pal 1, we're going to sit here and see what message Spirit has for you. But before we begin with the tarot, we're gonna go through the oracle cards, okay? We're gonna look at the oracle cards here for your Pal. So as you see here, we got the River Unshin, the message in a bottle, and we also got the peace card. Now this feels like a very emotional but calming message from Spirit, almost like they're trying to reassure you that things are shifting internally before they fully shift externally. Now, the combination of message in a bottle, peace, and River Unshin carries a theme of emotional release, divine communication, and surrounding to the natural flow instead of forcing outcomes. Now, it seems like the message in a bottle, Spirit is saying that communication, signs, answers, or emotional revelations are either already being sent to you or are on their way to you. This card often appears when Spirit wants you to pay attention to, signs, dreams, repeating thoughts, sudden urges, songs, or even unexpected contact from someone, There's an energy of, it's an energy here of you are not disconnected, even if things have felt uncertain. Spirit is, letting you know that messages are moving towards you behind the scenes. And then peace, this card right here, changes the tone completely. It feels like Spirit is asking you to stop mentally wrestling with situations you cannot fully control right now. This card is about reaching emotional stillness after chaos. It can mean releasing anxiety over timing, accepting what it is, or trusting that not every answer has to come immediately. Oh, excuse me, guys. I have allergies, so please don't mind. It also feels like Spirit is saying you do not need to chase every answer. What is meant for you will arrive naturally. Then the River Unshin, which is this card right here, which is also, these cards is from the Call of the Morrigan tarot deck, but this card right here deepens that message. Rivers represent movement, emotional cleansing, destiny, and spiritual flow. Unshin energy feels deeply intuitive and feminine, like being guided through emotion instead of fighting it. Spirit may be encouraging you to let yourself flow with what your intuition is already, what your intuition already knows, instead of resisting emotional truth. I'm so sorry for the noise outside. So these cards together feel like a message of truth is approaching, emotional healing is happening, and you are being guided to trust the unfolding instead of trying to force certainty. Now we're going to look into the message. We're going to put these up here for you guys so you can still see them. Sorry, my angle is not the best. But now we're going to look into the energy that you are currently in. Spirit, what energy is Pal 1 currently in? Spirit, what energy is Pal 1 currently in? Ooh. What energy is Pal 1 currently in? Okay. What energy is Pal 1 currently in? What energy is Pal 1 currently in, Spirit? What energy is Pal 1 currently in? Alrighty, let me set up the cards for you guys. Alrighty, Pal 1, I laid out your cards. Let's see here. We got the 10 of Pentacles, reverse. We got the 3 of Wands upright. We got the 5 of Wands upright. And then we got the Devil, reverse. Now, right now, your energy feels like someone standing in the middle of a storm while, substantially staring out towards a completely different future. There's this feeling of emotional and mental tension around you. It's like a part of you already knows you're outgrown certain environments, people, or expectations, but another part of you is still tangled in conflict of it all. The Ten of Pentacles reversed makes the energy feel unstable beneath the surface. It's giving the feeling that something that was supposed to feel secure, permanent, or emotionally grounding either no longer feels safe to you or never truly fulfilled you the way it was supposed to. For some of you, for Power 1, this could connect to family tension, instability in your long-term plans, money worries, or even feeling disconnected from the life you imagine you will have by now. There's almost this quiet disappointment setting underneath your energy, but you're trying to stay, stuck in it. But you're trying not to stay stuck in it. But then the Three of Wands changes the atmosphere because, completely, because the simple fact spirit shows you looking outward, restless, observant, waiting for a movement. It feels very fire energy coded here, especially Aries and Sagittarius energy. It seems like you guys might be, not everyone, but it might seem like there's Aries and Sagittarius energy here, There's ambition in your aura right now. Even if things around you feel chaotic, your spirit already senses that there's bigger ahead. You may catch yourself fantasizing about relocating, changing your life, meeting new people, building something greater, or finally, stepping into a version of yourself that feels more free and expensive. I keep getting tongue-tied. Expansive. Now, at the same time, the Five of Wands says your current energy is not peaceful internally yet. Your mind feels crowded. It's like too many voices, too many options, Too many emotional triggers are fighting for your attention at once. It seems like some of you may even feel spiritually irritated lately, easily annoyed, defensive, emotionally overstimulated, or tired of constantly having to prove yourself. This feels especially strong for people carrying Leo or Aries placements because there's pride here, but also exhaustion from conflict. Excuse me. Now, what's interesting is the Devil reverse at the end because it feels like the real story underneath all the tension is liberation. Your soul is trying to break away from something unhealthy. It could be toxic attachment patterns, fear, obsessive thinking, self-sabotage, temptation, unhealthy relationships, or even old versions of yourself that kept you emotionally chained down. Now, this is Capricorn energy. It's very strong here, but reverse meaning the control something once had over you is weakening. So the current energy honestly feels like someone in transition, still emotionally fighting, still mentally conflicted, and, still feeling instability around them. But it's like you're no longer fully trapped. There's a sense that you're beginning to realize your future cannot grow inside the same emotional cage you've been surviving in. It seems like Spirit shows someone slowly pulling themselves out of emotional survival mode and beginning to look forward, towards expansion, even if the process still feels messy right now. Okay, so next we're gonna sit here and look into what situation needs attention right now. So, Spirit, what situation needs attention right now? Spirit, what situation needs attention right now? Actually, I'm going to keep it at 3. Let me set it up. Alrighty, so we got the Two of Swords reversed, the Emperor reversed, and the Five of Swords reversed. The situation that needs your attention right now feels deeply connected to control, direction, and unresolved power struggles. Spirit is showing a situation where things are not moving forward properly because someone involved, either you or another person around you, is operating from stubbornness, ego, avoidance, or emotional immaturity. The Two of Wands reverse gives the feeling of standing at crossroads but hesitating to move. It's like there's fear around making the wrong decisions, so instead of choosing a direction, the energy stays stuck in limbo. This can look like overthinking, waiting for someone else to act first, or remaining attached to something that no longer feels aligned because the unknown feels intimidating. The energy feels restless but also stationary at the same time. Then we have the Emperor reverse that shifts the reading into a heavier, territory. There's a strong imbalance of power surrounding this situation. This could absolutely point towards masculine energy, someone controlling, emotionally rigid, manipulative, defensive, or trying to dominate the situation instead of handling it maturely. Now, this is Aries energy is very strong here that I'm seeing, but, distorted. Now, instead of healthy leadership, Spirit shows someone acting out of insecurity disguised as authority. Now, for some of you, this may even reflect your own energy lately, trying to hold everything together so tightly that it's creating internal pressure and emotional frustration. There's a theme of wanting control because underneath there's fear of, instability. And then the Five of Swords makes the atmosphere feel emotionally tense and, mentally draining. This is not peaceful conflict. This is the kind of energy where pride, resentment, miscommunication, passive aggression, or winning becomes more important than understanding each other. Spirit is showing a situation where nobody truly walks away fulfilled because the underlying issue is not actually being resolved. So the message here feels very direct. Someone around you is becoming toxic through avoidance, control issues, or unresolved conflict, and it needs honest attention before it escalates further. There's also a underlying warning here about draining yourself trying to battle for validation, clarity, or emotional power in a situation that may, already be showing you its true nature. And it seems like the cards almost feel like Spirit is asking, are you trying to force control over something that is already creating emotional warfare within you? The energy overall feels mentally exhausting, like you're carrying tension from a situation that has become more about resistance and ego than emotional peace. And it's like Spirit wants you to pay attention to where you feel stuck, defensive, angry, or powerless right now, because that's exactly where the imbalance is sitting. So, for Pile 1, your reading is done. If you feel like this message resonated with you, please leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Now we're going to be on to Pile 2. Hey, Pile 2, we're going to sit here and start with your reading, and let's see what messages Spirit have for you. Before we start with the tarot cards, we're going to look at the oracle of cards that is here for you. So we're going to move these out the way. So we got this card, the Pleiades. Then we got the Sisterhood of the Rose, and then we also got Come to the Edge, okay? Let me set them up. I'm very OCD when it has to look nice on camera, you know what I mean? But with these cards combined, this feels like Spirit pulling you towards a completely different chapter energetically. One where you stop gripping so tightly to fear, control, hesitation, and the need to know exactly how everything will turn out before you move. It's like the message across these cards feel very soft but also very cosmic, like being gently pushed towards expansion, even if part of you is nervous about it. The Come to the Edge card is Spirit asking you to step outside the emotional cliff you've been standing on. There's this feeling that you've been lingering in the space between wanting change and feeling afraid to fully, leap into it. Not necessarily reckless action, but trusting yourself enough to move forward. Now, what calls you instead of waiting for absolute certainty? The energy here feels like someone who has outgrown an old version of themselves but still keeps looking backwards for reassurance. It's like Spirit is saying the next phase of your life requires trust beyond proof. Then the Pleiades card changes the atmosphere completely. The energy is extremely heart-centered, sensitivity, intuitive, creative, and emotionally psychic. This card often appears when someone is awakening more deeply spiritually or becoming more energetically open. You may notice stronger intuition lately, vivid dreams, repeating signs, emotional waves, this different signs that, or even a stronger pull towards spiritual work, healing, tarot, beauty, creativity, or helping others emotionally. There's also a strong feeling that you are not meant to isolate yourself emotionally right now. It's like Spirit is reminding you that softness is not weakness. And then, my allergies, sorry guys. And then Sisterhood of the Rose feels like confirmation that healing is happening through feminine energy, intuition, emotional connection, and spiritual alignment rather than force. This card has a very divine feminine energy around it, not necessarily romance, but, receptive energy, magnetism, intuition, beauty, grace, emotional intelligence, sacred self-worth. It feels like Spirit wants you to stop surviving in hard defensive energy all the time. So now we're gonna sit here and look into your tarot cards, Spirit. We're gonna look into what the Spirit wants you to know and what truth are you not fully seeing. Okay, so Spirit, what do you want Pile 2 to know? Spirit, what do you want Pile 2 to know? Spirit, what do you want Pile 2 to know? Oh, I think I got one stuck together. Yep, it's stuck. Oh God, of course. Ooh. Alrighty, let me set these up. Alrighty, pal 2. As you can see here, I got the Page of Swords reversed. I got the Six of Swords upright, the Eight of Swords upright, and then the King of Cups reversed. Let me fix this one. Hold on. Sorry for all the outside noise, guys. I live in a city, so it's not gonna be super quiet. So with these cards here, this feels like Spirit addressing the mental and emotional state you've been sitting in lately more than a outside situation. The energy here feels heavy in the mind, like there has been overthinking, emotional confusion, watching things too closely, replaying conversations, trying to read between the lines, or becoming trapped inside your own thoughts. It feels like part of you is searching for clarity while another part keeps, feeding anxiety and uncertainty. Now, the Page of Swords reverse feels like mental exhaustion and disordered perception. Spirit may be warning you that not every thought you have right now is truth. There's a energy of hypervigilance here. It seems like, constantly checking emotional energy, trying to figure people out, looking for hidden meetings, or anticipating disappointment before it happens. This card can also point to miscommunication, paranoia, or consuming too much outside energy that leaves you, mentally restless. It also it feels like your mind has been running faster than the spirit can process, to be honest. And then the Six of Swords comes in almost like spirit trying to guide you away from that storm mentally and emotionally. This card feels like transition, healing, leaving behind chaos, and moving towards calmer waters, even if the process feels slow. It seems like Spirit seems to be saying you are not meant to stay trapped in a mental space you've been in. Something inside you already knows it's time to emotionally detach from draining cycles, confusion, emotional conflict, or obsessive thinking patterns. Even if you haven't, fully arrived in peace yet, you are being guided towards it. But the Eight of Swords shows the biggest obstacle is the prison of your own fears. Spirit wants you to know that some of the limitations around you are mental, not permanent. There's a feeling here of believing you're stuck, powerless, trapped, unable to move forward, or emotionally, cornered. But the card carries the energy of self-restriction more than actual imprisonment. It's like your anxiety or fear is making this, situations feel more impossible than they truly are. Then the King of Cups reverse closes the reading with deep emotional imbalance underneath everything. This feels like suppressed feelings, emotional overwhelm, mood instability, or trying to appear emotionally controlled while internally struggling. Spirit may be pointing out that unprocessed emotions are affecting your thoughts more than you realize. There's also a warning not to pour all your emotional energy into people or situations that leave you emotionally drained or emotionally confused. So it's like altogether, spirit messages feel like your mind and emotions are overloaded right now, and fear may be, maybe distorting your perception of yourself and your situation. You are being guided away from mental chaos, but you have to literally stop feeding the thoughts that you keep on emotionally feeling trapped by. Not everything requires, analysis. Not every silence hides betrayal. Not every delay means failure. And healing begins once you stop treating your fears like facts. Now we're gonna sit here and look into what is shifting for you soon. Alrighty, Spirit, what is shifting for Pal 2 soon? Spirit, what is shifting for Pal soon soon? Spirit, what is shifting for Pal soon too soon? What is shifting for Pal 2 soon? What is shifting for Pal 2 soon? Let me set up the cards. Give me 1 second. Alrighty, guys. As you can see here, we got the Five of Pentacles upright. We got the Eight of Pentacles reverse. And then we got the Moon card upright. This feels like a shift happening beneath the surface before it fully becomes visible in your physical reality. Now, the energy of these cards is very emotional, uncertain, and transitional. Spirit is showing you that something uncomfortable is being brought up so it can finally be confronted instead of avoided. The Five of Pentacles upright immediately brings feelings of lack, loneliness, rejection, instability, or emotional abandonment. But in a wish shifting position, this doesn't necessarily mean hardship is surviving now. It feels more like your relationship with, security and fear is being exposed. It seems like spirit may be showing you where you've been operating from survival mode, feeling unsupported, emotionally left out, even financially worried or spiritually disconnected. Something about this card feels tied to wounds around not feeling chosen, secure, or safe. Then the Eight of Pentacles reverse suggests burnout, frustration, lack of motivation, or realizing something you've been, investing energy into is no longer working the way it used to. This could be connected to work, routines, goals, relationships, or even spiritual practices. There's a feeling here of exhaustion from trying to force progress. Spirit may be shifting you away from repetitive cycles where you keep overworking emotionally or physically without true fulfillment. And then the moon changes the reading into something much deeper and more intuitive. This card says the full truth of what's shifting is not completely visible yet. The moon brings hidden emotions, intuition, subconscious fears, psychic sensitivity, dreams, confusion, and spiritual awakening. It feels like you're entering a period where your intuition becomes stronger, which is awesome, but so do your emotional triggers. Things that were buried emotionally may begin surfacing. You may notice stronger gut feelings, vivid dreams, signs, or situations where you realize something wasn't what you thought it was. So this combination feels less like immediate external success and more like internal unraveling that eventually leads to clarity. It seems like spirit may be, stripping away illusions around stability, effort, or emotional security so you can rebuild from a more authentic place. So the overall message feels like a cycle built on fear, exhaustion, or emotional lack is beginning to crack open. You may temporarily feel uncertain about where things are heading, but this uncertainty is pushing you to stop ignoring what your intuition already knows. Something hidden either within yourself or around a situation is slowly coming into the light. What's shifting and what's shifting in your awareness. There's also strong Pisces slash Cancer energy here because of the moon mixed with earth energy from the Pentacles. So emotionally, this feels like learning how to trust your inner voice instead of, only relying on what looks stable on the outside. So, Pal 2, if you enjoyed your reading and this resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye for now.